Good day, everyone. My name is Lakshmi, and today I'm going to be talking about the most awaited and celebrated festivity and Lord of Hinduism, Lord Ganesha. This audio is going to be in two parts, and today I'm attempting the first part. A deity of Indian origin with an elephant head that we revere, pray, and offer our obeisance to. The elephant-headed god, also known as Ganesha. Ganesha or Ganapati is made up of two words, Gana plus Isha or Gana and Pati, meaning the head or the lord of the Ganas, or a collective group of warriors, animals, beings, insects, and varied life forms. India and Hinduism has influenced many countries of Eastern Asia and other Indian subcontinents as a result of their commercial or cultural contacts. Thus, Ganesha is one of the many deities who has reached foreign lands as a result. Hinduism is a very recently termed coin or recognition as a religion, but from time immemorial, it used to be known as Sanatana Dharma, meaning a term used to denote the eternal or absolute set of duties, practices, virtues such as honesty, refraining from injuring living beings, purity, goodwill, mercy, patience, forbearance, self-restraint, and generosity, regardless of class, sect, caste, creed, or nationality. Ganesha is revered and prayed not just in Hinduism but also in Jainism, Buddhism, by Tibetans, Indonesians in Myanmar, Thailand, China, Japan, and many other countries globally. Ganesha is prayed to as being the Lord of wisdom, knowledge, scriptures, music, dance, and art, and is the first Lord to be offered obeisance to at the beginning of any new task. His location in our body is believed to be the Mooladhara chakra or the root chakra, meaning at the base of the spine. This is the chakra of excitement and joy. Any obstacles that may hold us from performing a particular task is removed when we offer our prayers to this elephant-headed Lord. The Lord or divinity, as we must understand, is always part of our inner higher conscience. Ganesh Chaturthi is a time when we bring out the inner divinity that resides within us, offer our prayers and celebration externally, drown all the unnecessary or undesired traits before immersing the idol, and thus, along with it, the ego, and letting go of what we just generally hold on to. This helps us discard all the attachments or maya within us. It is an act of cleaning, cleansing, polishing, decorating, and revering the inner conscious and purifying the divinity within us. The form of Lord Ganesha is unique, and every part of his body or form has a specific significance, thus representing a complete form. The big head urges us to thinking big. The small eyes asks us to concentrate. The large ears denote that we must listen more. The trunk is indicative of higher efficiency and adaptability. One tusk motions us to retain what's good and throw away the undesired. The small mouth warns us to talk less. The hand holding the axe is indicating to cut off all the bonds of attachment. The hand holding the rope pulls us closer to our highest goal. The hand offering the blessings is to bless and protect those on the path of spirituality towards the supreme energy. The hand holding the modaka is indicative of the rewards of sadhana or spiritual practices. The large stomach instructs us to digest peacefully all the good and bad that we encounter in life. And finally, the mouse, which refers to our desires. Unless these desires are under control, they can cause a havoc and redirect our attention towards the undesired. The entire form of Ganesha is indicative of how an ideal higher intellect form should be and what steps one can take to achieve that purpose. In our next audio, we will further see certain other interesting significance of the celebrations, rituals, and practices. I hope this audio has helped you clearly understand the true form of the artistic Divine Lord and its close relevance to our ideal being. More love and light to all. Thank you.